Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel dedicated entirely to Louis Vuitton. In my last video, I asked you guys to comment what you'd like to see me do. And overwhelmingly, I had people tell me that they wanted to see how to clean Louis Vuitton's brass padlocks, as well as the hardware on their bags. And so I figured today that's what I would do. I love seeing your guys' comments. So if you see anything that you have questions on or anything that you'd like to see as far as maintaining Louis Vuitton bags or anything to do with Louis Vuitton bags, just go ahead and comment it below. I always reply to every comment. Like I said, I appreciate every one of them. So enough said, let's get started with this. So there's a few things that you're going to need to be able to clean this brass effectively. The first thing that I use is called Barkeeper's Friend. Now everybody knows what this is because it's the best thing ever for cleaning sinks and counters. And then the other thing that I use to polish up my brass is called Brasso. And I've talked about this in one of my previous videos, but it does a really good job on getting rid of the tarnish that's on your brass and kind of polishing things up. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is I have with me a bowl. It has a little bit of water in the bottom, as I'm sure you can see. And then I just kind of sprinkle some of my Barkeeper's Friend in the bottom of it. Makes a bit of a mess. And then I have Q-tips. Q-tips are really important and so helpful for cleaning your hardware, as well as the padlocks too. And then basically what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of mix it around until you get basically a paste at the bottom of this. I put too much water in, but the idea is to get a paste that you can kind of use to actually scrub, because what this will do is it's a little bit abrasive, and so it'll get in and it'll kind of help get rid of some of those scratches that you have. And so as you can see here, I've kind of got a bit of a paste. And then all it is really just a simple a matter of taking it and scrubbing it all over your hardware. And you're going to see it's immediately going to start shining it up. But you can see I've got my paste all over this. I'm just taking it and I'm really scrubbing it and getting in there. This is brass. You're not going to hurt it. Don't worry about it. These padlocks are like indestructible. But what I do is I just really get in here and I kind of get in and I scrub it down really well. And like I said, this is kind of abrasive, so it gets in here and it really starts to shine things up. And this is really nice because you can just buy this at any store in the cleaning section. And you just get in here and you're able to kind of scrub it clean. And it'll get rid of some of the little scratches that, come in these over time. I forget how old this lock is. I think it's from like the 80s. And then usually I have just a plain washcloth here and I'll kind of take it and buff it and polish it. It's just really a matter of trying to get in there and polish it, and it'll start to get really shiny. As you can see, or maybe you can't, but it's already starting to get pretty shiny. This lock wasn't too bad. I've seen some that turn green. And that's pretty common. That's just what brass does over time. It turns green, especially if you're touching it, which you are with this stuff. So then you're just going to want to get it nice and clean. Get off all of that paste that you had all over it. And usually I'd have like a wet cloth here, but I don't with me right now. At any rate, you're just going to want to get that paste off of there after we've used that. And then the next thing we're just going to use here is this Brasso. And this is specifically meant to clean and polish brass. It's pretty fumy, so be careful with it. Don't huff it. But basically what I do is I just get a little bit on the end of my Q-tip here. And again, these Q-tips are so helpful with this. And then it's the same thing, a matter of just applying it, kind of scrubbing it around a little bit. And this stuff is amazing. Like this stuff, seriously, I'm telling you, is magic. The way that it cleans this brass is incredible. And so all you do is you kind of get it on there and then you let it dry, okay? And once it's pretty much dry, you just wipe it off. It's just like polishing anything. You put it on, let it dry, and wipe it off. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a super shiny and clean lock. And I know that that's it's difficult to see. It's hard to portray this on camera, but I really have gotten it fairly shiny. Now, as far as cleaning the hardware on your bag, it's a little more difficult because you have to be a little more sensitive to the leather. So I have with me today a Sirius 45, and this is one of my favorite bags. But I've got a few chaps here that or these are rivets that are on the chaps. And they've gotten green over time, which I know is probably difficult to see in the video. Maybe you can see it a little bit there. For these, I personally don't like to use the Barkeeper's Friend because I don't want it getting all over this. So what I do is I simply take a little bit of my Brasso, I put it on the end of my Q-tip, and then I can be really accurate with how I place this on here. And it's just a matter of twirling it around and scrubbing it. And this stuff is insane with how quick it works. And then you want to quickly get that product off of there. And I'll bring the camera up close so hopefully you can see. But here we've got a nice shiny compared to a really dull and green. And that's what that Brasso does. It causes that chemical reaction. Now you want to be as careful as you can to try and limit its contact onto this leather because it will dry it out. And you want to do this after you've conditioned this leather, but before you clean it. Now, if you're interested in learning how to clean this leather, I have an entire video dedicated to that. I also have a video dedicated to how to shine up and brighten this part of the canvas part of your bag. But you want to clean the hardware before you do anything because you're going to want to, when you clean the leather, you're going to want to take some of that stuff off. It's as simple as that. So to recap, I've got Brasso and I've got Barkeeper's Friend. What you're going to want to do is create a paste with your Barkeeper's Friend so that you can scrub out some of the scratches that are on it. And then you're going to want to create a finished polish with your Brasso. And this is going to leave your bag nice and shiny. Here's the Q-tip after I used it on that rivet. It's crazy what it'll take off of there. Finally, if you liked my video, of course, subscribe. That really helps me out a lot. It makes people be able to see my video, like the video, comment. I will reply to all your comments. And then finally, I do have a Facebook group. It's called the Louis Vuitton Gold Mine. And I have pieces like this for sale. This one will be up for sale here in the next week or so. And I also let other users post things for sale. I also post lots of tips. You can post a bag that needs authenticated, really anything. That group is just a space to talk about Louis Vuitton. And I find that users find it really helpful. So if you're interested, go ahead and join that group. It's a lot of fun. Again, that's the Louis Vuitton Gold Mine. And thank you so much for watching your videos and all of your nice comments. It really does mean a lot. Until next time, I'll see you later.